Well, I met him first as a scrappy CYO football player for the 1959 City of Champions. He was coached by my father, Joe Castiglione. I watched with pride and admiration as he rose to serve the city of Cleveland as City Council Majority Leader and serve as a judge in the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas and Ohio's 8th District Court of Appeals. He works tirelessly on behalf of Italian Americans throughout the country, serving as president of the Conference of Presidents of major Italian American organizations, the national president of the Italian Sons and Daughters of America, president of the Justinian Forum Italian American Bar Association, and as a member of the executive committee of the National Italian American Foundation in Washington, D.C. No one has worked harder to preserve the celebration of Columbus Day in our city, our state, and in our country than Basil Russo. This weekend, he will be knighted by the Republic of Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, Basil Russo.
So very much. I want to offer our thanks and appreciation to the Mayor of the City of Cleveland for participating in tonight's important event, and of course our thanks and gratitude to two of our very dearest friends, Council President Blaine Griffin and Council's Dean Mike Lensick, who have been so supportive of the Italian American community over the years. I offer my congratulations to our 5 wonderful honorees for all the contributions that they have made to perpetuate our beautiful heritage. We're honored to be here this evening with the 5 of you. Thank you so much for all that you've contributed to our community. I'd like to say a few words to you in my capacity as president of the Conference of Presidents of Major Italian American Organizations. It's our umbrella group that 60 of the largest Italian American organizations around the country belong to, so that we can all work together and speak with the same voice at the national level to try and accomplish whatever is necessary to benefit our community, to preserve our heritage. Now, there are 3 important events that have taken place in the Italian American community at the national level that I want to talk to you about this evening. The first involves the Conference of Presidents' new program to connect with our younger generations. We understand that if we want to save our heritage, we have to be able to pass it on to the younger generations. If we're unable to do that, when we pass, the heritage will pass with us. So we've created a program to accomplish that. The program is titled the Italian American Future Leaders Conference. We began it this past January. We brought 100 talented young people from throughout the United States between the ages of 21 and 35 to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for an all-expense-paid 3-day weekend so that we could help to nurture them in an appreciation and love for the Italian heritage, and we could encourage them to begin assuming leadership positions in all of our organizations throughout the country. The program was a huge success, and we've been asked by many cities around the country if we would travel to their community to perform a similar program. And we've done so. Just 2 weeks ago, we were in the city of Detroit at the request of the Italian consulate. We conducted a program there, and again, we had an exceptional response from the young Italian-American community that participated in the program there. So we're well on our way to doing what's necessary to reach out, connect with our younger generations so that we can begin to transition power, transition leadership to the next generation. Our second major event involves the First Lady. As many of you know, she's the first person of Italian heritage to occupy the White House. So on behalf of the Conference of Presidents, I wrote her a letter back in July, and I asked her if she would consider hosting an event at the White House to celebrate Italian-American Heritage Month. I'm pleased to report that I received a reply from her office a few weeks ago saying that she would be happy to do so. So in 10 days, on Thursday, October the 12th, a reception hosted by the First Lady, Jill Biden, will be held at the White House. This is a precedent-setting event as it marks the first time in history that the White House has ever hosted an event to celebrate Italian-American Heritage Month. The third event that I want to talk to you took place last Thursday when the Italian-American Congressional Caucus sponsored a screening of a film entitled Potentially Dangerous. Since the film was a grant recipient of the Russo brothers Italian-American Film Forum, and it was the winner of our 2021 competition, I was invited by Congressman Pasquarelli to attend the screening and to address those in attendance from the U.S. Congress that would be viewing the movie. The Russo Brothers Film Forum was created by my wife, myself, and my sons and daughters to provide grants to filmmakers who are willing to depict the Italian-American experience in a positive way for the benefit of future generations. We all know that our community has not been fairly portrayed by the film and television industry throughout our history. We're trying to change that. We want movies made that extol our contributions to this country and the great contributions we have made to Western civilization. To date, we have given out 48 grants totaling $400,000 to encourage young filmmakers to make movies that celebrate our heritage in a positive way. Now, Potentially Dangerous is a very interesting film. It's a documentary that sheds a light on the terrible injustices that 600,000 of our ancestors were subjected to in World War II when they were classified as enemy aliens by our government. The tragic irony of that situation is that our government treated these people as criminals. They were subjected to curfews, their property was confiscated, many of them lost their jobs, many of them were evicted from their homes, and many of them were placed in internment camps. This was all happening to them while 1 million of their sons were fighting and dying in Europe and the South Pacific to keep this country safe and free. Injustices such as this happen in this country, and this film does an excellent job of doing so. It's currently being aired on many PBS stations, it is just, as I said, one of 48 films that we have funded over the past 6 years. Finally, allow me to say a few words to you about Columbus Day. The ISDA will again host our annual Columbus Day Parade in Little Italy next Monday, the 9th. The day will begin with Mass at Holy Rosary Church at 10 o'clock. The parade steps off at noon. We invite all of you to attend the parade. Columbus Day is a national holiday that celebrates the explorer's heroic voyage that forever linked the old world with the new world to create one world. It's especially important to Italian Americans because Columbus was a symbol that provided our ancestors with the courage to overcome the prejudices, the hatred, and the violence that they were subjected to in our country. Columbus Day was first nationally celebrated in 1892 in response to the lynchings of 11 Italian immigrants in New Orleans by a mob of 5,000 people the year before, making it the largest lynch mob ever to assemble on American soil. Thereafter, Italian immigrants were victims in 40 other lynchings throughout our country. But you'll not find a word about any of this in any American school history books. It did not stop there. The next major public display of America's anti-Italian hysteria was exhibited in the tragic trial of Sacco Vanzetti in 1921, which prompted worldwide protests to condemn the anti-Italian bias, which ultimately resulted in the execution of those two individuals in 1926. And again, some 15 years after that, the anti-Italian bigotry again manifested itself in the enemy alien designations that we just talked about during World War II. Throughout those years, Columbus Day parades and Columbus statues provided Italian immigrants with the courage and the pride that they needed to overcome all the adversities that they were subjected to in their effort to assimilate into American society. What we all need to remember is that in recent years, there have been false and misleading allegations made about Columbus, oftentimes by well-intentioned people who cite flawed sources that are not supported by primary source material. There have been numerous books written in the last 10 years that clearly debunk all of the scurrilous allegations that have been made about Christopher Columbus. Our job is to speak up and preach the truth. We cannot sit idly by while others attempt to erase our heritage, or worse, to rewrite it for us. We must preserve our history. To learn more about our history and to get the true facts about Columbus, I encourage all of you to visit the Italian-American Museum in Cleveland's Little Italy. Thank you very much.